Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotroStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. This is Community Manager Cordova. Sorry about the cuckoo clock. Eek. Hello. All right. And here I thought I'd have a professional intro. There you go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hope you are having a good day. Hope you're looking forward to a good, fun weekend. Hope you're having fun in Lotro. I'm going to be doing a little questing later on Landreval. Could have a little bit of news, talk about what's going on here at the start, and just say hello and hang out with folks. Hello, Pineleaf, Ponton, Owl, and Marata, Big Hansen, Druids, Ibadali, Verador, Chorlock, Rowan, Sililot, James, Matt, and Ashakra at YouTube, and Keldon, David, Elizabeth, and Lori over on Facebook. Hope you're all having a good time. So probably the first thing I should mention is we did go live. If I can find, where did I put the page now? Gosh darn it. I got rid of the page somehow. Let me put that up on the web. The page here. So we went live this past week with our 99 Lotro point sale. Actually, that was started last week, but I did want to just remind people of that. Through August 31st, we have got a whole bunch of expansion quests and instance clusters available for 99 Lotro points. This is through August 31st, so there's no real hurry in redeeming or taking advantage of the sale, but you will want to take advantage of it before the end of August if you don't have this stuff. We're working on getting a way for you to more easily see what you do and do not have. We understand that that can be a little difficult to do at the moment. I would also remind people that we do have a coupon active, Lotro free quests. Again, Lotro free quests to get a whole bunch of quest packs, basically everything minus the expansions, the most recent expansions and the ones that are available for 99 points here, for free to your account. It's one per account. You can redeem it regardless of account status, and that too is available through August 31st. Finally, we are working to get you the VIP benefits with the 48 hours of town services items. That work is still underway, so I don't know exactly what the ETA on that's going to be, but should be in the near future. We do have a small patch set for next week. The main point of the patch is to do the final work necessary to open up the Tournament of the Twins, and that is going to happen next week as well. I don't have a page to show you right now because it's still being put together and it has a bunch of language about it's here now, so I don't want to blast it out on the screen and confuse people, but I can talk a little bit about what's going to be going on. Next Wednesday, we're going to be opening up our new event server. It'll be available for 1 month through July 14th. The server's name is Bombadil. You'll find it in the game launcher after Wednesday's patch. We will be opening up at noon Eastern. So for those of you looking forward to the land rush and name grab, noon Eastern next Wednesday is when you will be able to log into Bombadil and do what you need to do. So it's going to be open for a month, and it is a PvP-focused event server. The Sons of Elrond, Eladin, and Elrohir have begun a discussion and are arguing about which would make the greatest leader. So once you've reached level 10, you can take up the banner of either Eladon or Elrohir and venture forth to earn honor completing deeds and challenging heroes aligning with your rival. Brave players can earn rewards for completing deeds. Those characters will appear in a special leaderboard. So at level 10, starting at level 10, you can approach either Elrohir or Eladon. They'll be present in both Breetown and Gondaman. You can ask to join their faction by accepting a quest. Once you've accepted the quest, you can engage in combat with members of the opposing faction. You will gain honor by completing deeds throughout Eriador. Each Eriador deed completed will grant 100 points of honor, which is tracked on a leaderboard. Use the Register of Heroes to view the current leaderboard. Deeds completed prior to accepting a quest will not count towards that score. So you need to kind of declare your faction before That stuff counts for the leaderboard. Once you're engaged in this quest for honor, your only safe zones for members of the opposing faction are in major town hubs across Eriador. And actually, my copy is outdated. I'm surprised about that. I thought I had updated that. But anyway, I've got a list of the towns itself that I will have on this page when it goes live next week. Characters who are defeated will get a short stealth and haste buff that will allow them to get back in the battle. This is sort of an spawn camping thing. You'll basically be invisible and be able to move quickly for a little bit of time. Then you'll pop out and be able to re-engage in battle. During this event, you cannot gain experience points in any instance after level 10. This includes the instance finder and quest instances. The event is located in Eriador. There is a level cap of 50, and the server is available to VIP subscribers through July 14th. Available to VIP subscribers through July 14th. And again, the server is Bombadil, and it will be going live next Wednesday. Alani over on YouTube asks, off topic, but amongst the players in Ithel, we understand the server will be closing. Will we have the option to transfer our characters to a live server? The server is not closing. We have been listening to those on Ithel who would like to be able to join their brethren on Anor. When we opened up the Legendary Worlds, we had a bit of a land rush, and we, against our better judgment, frankly, to some extent, opened up a second server to deal with that land rush. But what happened was to be expected, which is once the population stabilized, Anor became sort of the big legendary world, and Ithel became very, very small in population. And we had people who were on Ithel who were really kind of begging us to be able to transfer to Anor to continue their legendary questing. So when we went live with the character transfers, about a month ago now? Maybe not quite a month. We decided to let people transfer from Ithel to Anor for free. This does not mean Ithel's going to be closing. Now, if everybody transfers from Ithel to Anor and there's no one left in the world, well, then I guess that speaks for itself. But there is no formal plan to close Ithel. What happens when the event is over? The server will close. The leaderboards will be displayed, posted somewhere, probably on the website. And we'll kind of see how it goes. If people like it and it's successful, we might do something like it again. If it's less so, well, probably won't. I don't have an ETA on the VIP perks. We're kind of in a work-from-home environment. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to the person who is doing that work, so I don't actually know right now when that VIP stuff is going to be coming, other than soon. We have not had, Sarah, over on Facebook, a lot of errors reported with character transfers. Usually the best course of action you can do is to log into a character prior to doing the transfer. That will help if the character is in some kind of weird archive state or something like that. Otherwise, get in touch with technical support through help.standingstonegames.com. They should be able to investigate and figure out what's going on with your transfer. Will it ever be possible to move characters between North American and EU servers? This question comes up a lot, Noah asks on Facebook. The answer is no. It will not be possible in the future to move between North American and EU servers. There are technical reasons why it is that way. There's really kind of old tech involved that makes it impossible for us to transfer a character between those two worlds. There would be data errors and all sorts of other issues that would be caused. So sorry, but the answer to that is no. James, I have not seen systemic issues of characters getting stuck on loading screens after a character select, but please do get in touch with technical support there. It's sort of an issue that always happens occasionally, but my understanding is that it's not widespread at the moment. Hopefully that is the case, and if it is not the case, then I will try to escalate that this afternoon, but get in touch with technical support, see if there's something they can do. ETA on T4-5 removal from raid. No one wants it anyways. We will not be removing T4 and 5. Sorry you don't like it. Did I mention if the new PvP server is VIP only? Yes, it is. It is VIP only. It's not a metric system shenanigans. My understanding is it really has to do with sort of the underlying IID system of the old Codemaster servers and the old Turbine servers, basically, where they were not put together in a way that allowed them to become compatible with each other. Almost like a VHS and beta thing. I believe Marillion, the answer is yes, that there are account-wide rewards for that. For the PvP server. I don't know what they are, though. I have not heard of plans to up DPS of Lore Master. Sorry, Audacity. No update on the race change option. Any plans to make task carry-alls purchasable? I am sure they will return to the Lotro store in the future. Trying to see what else I got here. A lot of kind of can we have, so those are always difficult to answer because unless I've got a solid plan for it, I really can't promise anything. We would love to offer more wardrobe space. Whether or not we're able to do that in the future, I just can't say. How will the race changes be done? I believe it'll be, if you are familiar with our other game, it'll be somewhat similar to the reincarnation tech that's done there. It's sort of a respec, so you'll probably will consume an item, log out, and it'll give you an opportunity to, from character select, deal with the race change and whatever associated stuff needs to happen because of that. That's how I think it's going to work, but I haven't actually seen the tech in operation yet, so I don't know. Can I remind us on the benefits of VIP after the free content release? Yeah, I can talk a little bit about some of the things that are available after the free content. For one, remember this free content only applies to existing content, so as new content is made available in the future, the typical VIP benefit of it being unlocked for you for free will be there, and if you're a premium character, you will have to purchase it. Otherwise, you get things like mailbox field access to all character trait slots. You get 500 Lotra points a month, unlimited chat, 20 slots of shared wardrobe space, additional inventory slots, maximum auction house listings, no currency cap, access to crafting guilds, monster classes, free weekly gold hobbit presents, daily 1 plus 100% XP, a custom character portrait frame, and kind of a whole bunch of other things as well. Let me see what else I might have here. Rest XP, 75 bag slots, 7 character slots, access to 15 skirmishes, well, more than 15, I think, at this point. Skirmishes, in-game support access, which you get for premium for 30 days following the purchase of points, but it's just unlocked for you permanently as VIP. And yeah, That's probably the main thing, and some swift travel access as well. So, kind of a bunch of odds and ends. In addition, we do have VIP event weekends where you get a bunch of buffs and things like that. So, hopefully that remains worth it. And then soon, these town services, which will be coming in the near future. I'm not sure what you're asking, Wilhelm. How could they be updated in the future? I don't know what they is. All right, a couple of questions about our online support, basically taking a long time right now. So I guess I could talk a little bit about that. We do have customer service just absolutely buried in tickets right now. The number of tickets versus the number of available people to do said tickets has quickly outpaced our ability to respond quickly with the launch of sort of all the free questing and associated influx of players, and their associated needs, particularly a lot of sort of account support related issues that people are running into when they're trying to reestablish their credentials after not logging in for, in some cases, years. Where I need to change my email, I never opted into the Standing Stone Games sort of info thing, and just all sorts of odds and ends, on top of regular game issues and that. So customer service is frankly just buried right now in tickets. They are working to dig themselves out. We are working to get them as many resources as we can to help with the backlog, but there is a backlog and things are slow and it will take longer than usual to get back to you. That sucks, but it is, however, the reality of which we all face. So we're working on it. We will get back to your tickets, but it is taking, in some cases, significantly longer than both you or I or us would like it to be. We do not have a phone number, Sarah. Sorry. I think that Audacity Kinship, there is a general desire to do updated kinship customization in terms of ranks, but that's nothing we've promised nor necessarily intend to do in the near future. That is something we'd like to do, though. Why not extend the PvP event for all the summer instead of 1 month only? Well, we had to decide how long we wanted to run it. We do have a busy summer going on. We do have Aragorn and Arwen's wedding. We have the War of the Three Peaks coming later this summer. We've got the Summer Festival and Farmers Fair. So we also know that, the level cap is 50 in Eriador on this Tournament of the Twins, and it's a bit of an experimental server to begin with, so it seemed like 1 month was an appropriate amount of time for people to take part in the Tournament of the Twins, and then we'll see ultimately how successful it is. If people enjoy it and they want it to come back or go longer, then perhaps it's something we could consider in the future. But for now, 1 month seemed like an appropriate amount of time to run this event. Uh, Guillaume says everyone complains generally about the speed of the game, lag, and even the quality of images. So we are not going to be, say, I often get, can we update the graphics? But that's not generally a realistic thing that can happen. We would need to largely make a new game in order to do something like that. You can't. It's not like a modular plugin or something where all of a sudden your graphics can get better. And redoing all the assets for a game as big as ours is just not even a tenable proposal. Lag is something that we have been actively working on for months now, and will continue to work on in the future. I'm not sure what you mean generally about the speed of the game. We are, a game that is paced as it is, so I'm not sure that that's something we intend to do either, but sorry if you think our game's too slow. Why is Summerfest so late this year? Mostly due to the time it's going to take to update it. We could not fit it into a schedule to get it out by mid-June as we had originally intended. So we had to push it out so that our development team and art team and that could properly update it for this summer. When is Helm's Deep coming to the Legendary servers? That will be later this summer. Any chance of updated voice acting? We are always adding new voice work in all of our content. In terms of redoing all voice work for the game, that is probably not going to happen. I could not see us actually doing something like that. Soft Snake, I guess I'm not sure in terms of War of Three Peaks. I said later this summer. You're saying, don't you mean the fall? I guess maybe yes. I don't know. Later this year, I guess. Let's say. I'm not sure what the exact time frame is on that. I had thought it was kind of late summer, but we'll see. It could be early fall. I would imagine, Stuart, that the new raid would come after the main content for War of the Three Peaks, which is pretty similar to what we usually do. Noah, no plans for a level squish down from 130. That's a couple of times I've heard that question. That's a weird one to me. I don't quite understand why we would do something like that. No, Alani, nothing to announce about the Eye of Sauron server. I believe you said there wouldn't be a content update quest back until after the free period a couple of weeks ago when I'd asked about the currently available. So yeah, I guess that's probably true. So when does fall start? I don't know. Isn't it in late September or something like that? When is fall this year? I don't know. Whatever. Later this year. Don't hold me to dates. Lolly Lop Lop, I see that you would like us to update Guardians. I don't know what our immediate class plans are, but as soon as I know, you'll know, and it'll be in the release notes. Any update on being able to retrieve servers from our sort of archive servers? Nothing to announce this week. It is something that we are continuing to work on to make possible. Also, Eric on Facebook wants a brown bear cub like the tundra bear cub, but brown. I'm supportive of that. I have no idea if we could do something like that, but I mean, I'm sure we could. Just a matter of will we? I don't know. But that's a great idea. I'm down.
I will play the part of character.
I will play the part of Karazgar, Stampion, but Eorzan the Helpful has a number of conditions. Know this, I will not endanger myself to save you. If this deception appears ready to fail, I will not maintain it. You may be a friend to me in the city, but in the Morgul Vale, the only men who still have friends are the dead ones. The living cannot stay living if they hold friendship more dearly than their own skin. Eorzan must come first. Are we agreed? Yep. Very well. I did not escape the end of the war in the dungeons of the Dark Lord to die in the Morgul Vale. If that is understood, then I will help you. Where do we need to go? Akadul. We're going to Akadul. I don't have a date, nor would I want to commit as to when the raid would be released. I would expect it'll be released after the main content. Someone is saying something like November, December-ish. That sounds plausible, but I don't actually know what the formal release date for it is, so I cannot give you an answer today. Yeah, so I had mentioned about a new class like a year ago. That mention was really oblique and was very, very early. And unfortunately, people kind of ran with it. I even saw a news article. Lotro announces new class. No, we did not announce a new class. There will undoubtedly be one in the future, but I don't have any timeline as to when that might be. I agree, Eric. We could largely recolor the Tundra Cub to be brown and call it something new.
We have no other choice.
The men here do not like me. It brings a smile to my face.
It means they remember. Arisen is not forgotten. If the cards had fallen differently, these others might be unwelcome guests in my own war camp, and they would not be free to whisper then. This man, this Baragond, he's a mere underling. Blah, blah, blah. I remember leading my own band, strong Kundalar warriors who would live or die at my command. And this guy is not real nice. Call me Arisen the Prepared, Stampion, for I am ready for this plan of yours, and for a hopeful future. I mean, you call it a plan. I'm just saying, I'm not sure I'd use that strong terminology for it.
Upper levels of the city, but I know not what.
Alright, so it looks like I'm heading back to Minas Mirgul to do stuff again.
Be wary, my friends. Evil spoils these grounds.
How hard is it to change a graphic on a crafting item icon? It has always irked me that the raw sapphire and polished sapphire icons are backwards. That sounds like a bug, and just a bug we would need to fix. Not particularly difficult to do. It's typically just a matter of having to prioritize it among other things. All right. A 12-year-old bug. Okay, I'm going to write that one down then. The raw sapphire and polished sapphire icons are backwards. They have been for A dozen years, huh? That sucks. Maybe I can get someone to fix that. So Lotro typically does have races linked to classes, and I would imagine whatever new class came out would probably have some of the same restrictions. What? They are broken as intended. Now that's funny. It's rarely ever broken, and people are rarely happy about things being broken. It's usually just a matter of trying to fit it into available work, etc. That is really funny, though. I approve of that phrase. Alright, a second here. Alright. Jeff, are you okay? Hang on. Alright, my kid's fine. I just heard some weird sounds coming from the kitchen. He was exhausted from running some laps. I'm defeating orcs and Minas Morgul. Well, the black lore inside Minas Morgul bug, I don't mind. After okay. This time, I will go the correct way. So, someone is saying we need to save passwords in the launcher. I really don't think that's going to happen, nor would I be supportive of that. That's such a huge security risk that it would just be a terrible, terrible idea to do. On top of that, when at least, and I know this because of my own losing of passwords, if that stuff just gets saved forever, then you don't ever update it, you very quickly forget what your password is, because you're not typing it over. And so then when it does get lost, then you need to do a password reset, and it causes all sorts of problems. So simply remember your password, and then you won't have this problem. Two-factor authentication is something that we absolutely would like to bring to the game. I know that it's on a never-ending list of things that our engineering team would like to do. They are frankly swamped with all sorts of other things, up to and including the lag investigations that have been going on that kind of waylaid pretty much any other kind of effort they were working on in recent months. But two-factor authentication is one of the things we would like to do in the future, so I do expect us to get to that someday. And hopefully sooner rather than later. Cord, I heard you said that there is no new gear loot for T5 at Shelob. Is that true? Did I say that? I guess it depends what you mean. My understanding is there is some new jewelry that unlocks starting in T4, and regardless, you see an eye level bump per typical. So I guess that depends whether you count that as new gear or not. I'm guessing you probably would not, because it is generally an eye level bump along with a little bit of, like, new jewelry, I understand. But I don't know. Go. I'm aware that T4 and T5 has not yet been defeated, and players would like us to lower the difficulty of it. Not so much, mechanical difficulty, but numerical difficulty in the Rimmer Chant raid. I would expect us to potentially do something like that in the future, but I don't have anything to announce today. Don't make two-factor authentication as horrible as some other game that I'm not going to mention here. Two-factor authentication is generally pretty standard regardless. You'll have... I mean, the core of two-factor authentication is you have your password, and then you also have an additional code that gets sent to a different device. So whether that's like text to your cell phone or using an Authy app or something like that. So I would expect it would pretty much be the same as you'd experience in other things that have two-factor authentication. Typically, there is an option for two-factor authentication for people who don't have cell phones. You can do it through email. Is, I think, generally the way that's done. Or you can do it through an app, which is available on both desktop and mobile. Leave T1 to T3 as it is. Okay. All right. Ah, DOS. I've, over on YouTube, asked a question that I'm going to respond to because it is a personal pet peeve of mine as well. Why are the patch notes from the other game, Dungeons & Dragons Online, presented in a cool article form on the website which looks nice, and Lotro's patch notes are just postings in the forum? Would like to see that in Lotro as well. So would I. However, in general, the community has told me that they prefer the release notes to be in the forums, and historically that's where they've always been. I don't like it either, but nonetheless, it's not always, I don't rule by fiat for the most part. And so when I took over as community manager for Lord of the Rings Online, I chose to keep the patch note infrastructure as it was. But if I had my druthers, I would do that too. What's up?
Did 5 laps.
You did 5 laps? Wow. Cool.
I just stopped.
And the reason I wouldn't want to do it in both places is simply a workload issue. It would just be... I could, theoretically, but I'd rather not duplicate that effort, because then every time something needs to be changed or whatever, you have to do it in 6 different places, because remember, we do French and German as well. So you're not looking at 1 page, you're looking at 3 pages for all that stuff. Yeah. Oh no. Alright. Well, watch it, don't cut yourself. Okay. We'll just put it in the kitchen and I'll clean it up later, okay?
There's only just a few pieces. Just a few.
Okay.
Or maybe more than a few.
That's fine. I'll take care. Just be careful around the broken glass, and I'll take care of it as soon as the stream here is done. Oh, how about I do something about this? Meh. It's always bothered me, frankly, too, that it's only on the forums. I like release notes being on the website. I often hear, frankly, that people would prefer that more stuff rather than less be on the forums. I personally prefer that official information be on the website in general instead of the forums. But I recognize that there's historic precedent that tends to suggest I do things other than differently, and I try to be respectful of that. There are long-standing tentative plans to update both the forum and the website. I have no idea. There have been years where I was like, this is going to be the year. This is the year we get a new forum. And then it just, for various reasons, didn't happen. So I would be loath to try to make any kind of formal promise today that something would improve. However, that said, I would love it if we updated the forums. And it could happen. It could happen. We've stated in the past kind of what that plan would be, and that would be our intention to move to a cloud-based forum solution, something like, or maybe in actuality, vBulletin Cloud. What we would do is put the existing forums in an archived state, so that you would still be able to read them, but you would not be able to post in them. You would be able to copy over, say, stuff from the existing forums as you wished. I think I went the wrong way again. Why do I keep doing this? I'm in an instance to secure the tower. How do I even get down there? Oh, here we go. What is the setup of my system that I am currently using to play? So, first off, I have got the graphics set at ultra high, DX11, 1920 by 1080 with anti-aliasing. Let's see if I can actually... Where do I find out what I got in my computer? Computer? Let's see if I can find that. I don't know. I would actually need to figure out what my computer had in it. It's something like 32 gigs of RAM. I've got a 1080 graphics card in it, half gig SSD, and then a full terabyte regular drive. I'm not all that computer techie. It's a nice one. I paid about $1,200 for it. So I guess it's, what, not quite 2 years ago now? But in general, it's I know it's a 1080 on the graphics card and 32 gigs of RAM and a AMD 8-core. Right-click on Start System. I still don't see anything about that. Oh, about. Here we go. Oh, okay. Nope. Intel Core i7 7700K CPU at 4.2 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM, 64-bit operating system, Windows 10, home, made by ABS computers, and then, like I said, I've got basically a half gig SSD, which I run Loadsherwin DDO on, and then a terabyte regular old style hard drive that I use for, pictures and everything else. And I also have Windows running on my SSD. Nothing to announce regarding the LI update. Annette, I'm sorry you're experiencing an issue. It isn't clear to me what the specifics of your problem are. You're saying you can't game anymore since an update start in May. That sounds bad. And hopefully something that we can resolve for you. I'm not quite sure what your specific problem is. You say, are we going to finally answer the submitted tickets? I did discuss how CS was behind, but hopefully we could get to your issue sooner rather than later. If you want to direct message me on the Lotro forums, I will do my best, with the ticket number, I will do my best to track down the status of it and see what I can do in terms of getting your particular situation resolved. And again, I am sorry that you're running into issues. Yeah, I'm a big believer in putting the operating system on an SSD. I know some people tend not to do that. I've never quite understood why. It makes boot up and everything just so much faster. And especially Windows 10 is not really that big an operating system. It's what, 17 gigs or something like that? 20 gigs? Smaller than Lotro, frankly. So, I don't know. But I am a strong believer in putting your OS on a SSD. I will say this, I happened to purchase my computer just before the Bitcoin craze hit. And as a result of that, it made it much more doable to get a decent spec system with a decent spec graphics card in a way that very quickly afterwards became a lot more expensive. And I am really glad I got my computer when I did. But even so, by, I guess, modern bleeding-edge PC standards, 1080 is kind of an older graphics card, except it works just fine for me. So no problems there. Control F to see my frames per second. It looks like I'm currently running at about 85, 86 FPS. And again, I just use a regular 1920 by 1080 computer monitor, and I'm running Lotro windowed. Because I stream and certainly multitask a ton, so it doesn't make sense for me to be full screen. We should take the beta tag off the 64-bit client. That would be a determination of people other than me. That's going to be up to, I think, really our engineering team and others to determine when the appropriate time to do that is.
I actually cleaned up the glass from the sink a bit.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, thank you.
I carefully picked it up.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you did that. Thank you.
Daddy, maybe we should use that glass for paint.
I think it's a great idea.
To like mix paints together, and then we can like kind of see through that part, and then we can use the other glass shards for more paint.
It's fine. It's okay if a glass gets broken. That happens sometimes.
I tried to get water.
Yep.
It just slipped.
Are pop filters entirely redundant? No, they're not. I should have a pop filter. I don't have a pop filter. I have a pop filter, I'm just not using it. Because I haven't been able to figure out a way to get it on this, working on the mic without having it cover up my face in a way that I don't like. But no, pop filters are not redundant. And as a matter of fact, they are strongly recommended, I would say. Your sound quality will go up significantly by having a pop filter. Ah, thanks, Stingley. Alright. Alright, where's my next? I do not see us extending the duration of the PvP server at this time. If ultimately it were to be really successful, we would probably bring it back in the future and have it longer. But I think we're going to see how successful it is, how much people like it, and then make a determination on its future based on that. Maybe it's just going to be a one-and-done thing, right? I mean, who knows? Who knows what we end up doing with this? But we'll see. We'll see what happens here in the future. Yes, there will be a double bonus point sale in the future. I have no idea when that'll be, but it will be happening at some point. Store code for this week is Hour of Slay, and it's a Slayer Deed Accelerator boost for 60 minutes. Let me see here. Matt, I don't see us expanding our localization support in the future. We're pretty taxed existing with our existing support in French, German, and English. I really don't see us adding to that in the future here. I'm sorry. And again, I don't have anything to announce on the Legendary Weapon update, but as soon as I know more, I will let you know. And thank you, Lanky. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. I know we've got the Tolkien Professor coming up in just a minute or two. You can find the full schedule over on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I will be back next Friday with more, and by that point, the Tournament of the Twins will be live. Will I be on the Tournament of the Twins? Maybe. Maybe this will be a chance to spawn Camp Cordovan for an hour. But nonetheless, we will see how things go. And I'll talk to you again next week. Hope you're having a good time. Plus 20% Virtue XP boost through the weekend, by the way, as well. And have fun. Have a great weekend, all.